Alrighty, welcome to a special Wartales stream. I am creating this as a little bit of a stream for hopefully some promotion on Steam, and really I just want to show people a little bit more of the Wartales game. So I'm going to be commentating as I play through. I'm going to pick a little bit of a group and we'll go on a little bit of a journey together. So it's going to be fun. Alright, I decided for this this video that what I'm going to do is kind of pick a little bit of a theme. It's only going to last for an hour, give or take, depending on how it's going. I'll kind of stop at a little bit of a natural pause. And the group that we're going to take is a group of bandits that are looking to escape the guard. So we're going to try to be a group of bandits that takes out other bandits in the area so that we kind of become the kingpins as much as we can. And that is going to be our MO. Alrighty. I would like us to... what do we want? Do we want some long walks, a little bit of bonus experience, nice high health, excellent at slap games? I think being good at slap games is quite an entertaining way for this party to go. And if our guys had a flaw, they somewhat meek, eternally dissatisfied, an uncommon bout of bad luck, they have a hard time getting up, or they have an attitude that does not inspire trust. We, as bandits, are going to have an attitude that does not inspire trust, which means the guard will hunt us a little bit more frequently. Now, the gameplay of this video is going to be all new, so if you've seen the demo, and only the demo, that is not going to be anything that you are familiar with. So we're going to start in the second county that is available, the County of Arthes in the Kingdom of Edoran. I'm going to pop it on normal for both the combat and the simulation difficulty for this one. Okay. And here we are in the County of Arthes, starting in a nice little field here with the town just to our north. We're just going to head into the town of Courtia to begin the game, and we'll have a little bit of a look at some of the bits and pieces going on around town, a quick little look at our party, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so our aim is to just sort of investigate. So if we go into the inn, we can have a little bit of a look at the quests around the place. And as we want to become the bandits of the region, we're going to have a little bit of a look and see if we can find a few little groups to get rid of. So we'll start with a nice sort of easy mission off to the southeast. We've got some rats around the place. We've got some ghost hunters. So soldiers from Lord Lahart's army have decided to slay the ghost of Harag. Reason with these fools before they freeze to death in the mountains. That one's a good one. And free the old customs post. The old customs post is no longer safe since bandits have taken up residence there. It's high time we kicked them out. So that is the sort of mission we want to be taking. So even though it is hard, we are going to try to line it up. Alrighty, so let's have a little bit of a look at our starting companions. So we've gone for a group with 2 rangers, who are a damage dealing dexterity based class. This one starts with stab and run, which allows him to disengage, and he has a trait of tormentor. Critical hit and damage are increased by 5% when a 2-handed weapon is equipped. That's a pity because these guys can't equip 2-handed weapons. We have a brute who has pound and first aid. First aid's a good one to have, and 5% chance of resisting poison, bleeding and burning. That's a good one for a tank. Another ranger also with stab and first aid. He's also got the 2-handed weapon trait. There we go. This guy is glorious. Chance to generate bravery points. Fantastic. And he has first aid too. Too easy. Alrighty, so we head out of the inn. We've got a couple of little quests around the place. And at the start, when you're in town, there's not too much you can do. We've got a little bit of money to spend, and what we might just do is buy ourselves a little bit of food. So we've actually only got 10 food at the moment, which will only last us 1 day, as we can see in the top right there. So we'll just have a bit of a chat to this guy. Doesn't have any food on sale for us, so we might just check the fruit seller. Also no food on sale for us. So we'll buy a little bit of meat just to keep us going, and today I think I feel like pork. Let's go just buy ourselves a little bit of pork, so now we have enough for 3 days. We can have a little bit of a look at Whisk Toss here, but he doesn't have any goods that we're too interested in. A little bit of cloth. We can use some cloth to make armor, but we also need leather and some other goods as well, so nothing we're after in particular here. We can visit the Alchemist as well, and the Alchemist is someone who sells us some medicine and some potions, and later on also tells you how to make some extra oil that you can apply to your weapons. And here we see the first of our profession indications. So what you can do in the alchemy lab is you can actually assign a character to become an alchemist. And we're going to do that because it gives a nice little bonus to dexterity, and that's obviously what we want on our ranger characters who are dexterity-based characters. I could actually assign all of them to alchemists if I wanted to give them all a dexterity bonus, but we've got a couple of other professions that we can kick off as well. At the forge, we actually learn how to become a blacksmith, and our brute is a strength-based character, so we'll make him our blacksmith. Alrighty, if we head to our camp, which is just down here in the bottom right, we can also assign the profession of tinker to a character. And the camp is basically another character in the game where you actually get to improve it over time, and it does little things just to boost your party and make your party that little bit stronger. So we've just done that and gone in there to make him a slightly... Oh, where's this merchant going? I'd like to catch up to him, but I'm not too sure whether he's in the same direction as our quests or not. Now, we can pull up the map. We've got the customs post up here, another troop, and helping the people who are going after the Ghost of Harag over there. We might go do these 2 quests, pick up a weapon or 2 before we go and try the old customs post. But first things first, let's see if this merchant has anything that we're after. It is possible to attack all merchants in the game. I probably wouldn't recommend it straight off the bat. Merchant parties are a little bit stronger. They do have a couple of guardsmen, as you can see behind them. This guy has some lockpicks, which can be quite handy for a thief. You don't normally need to buy them too early, but I like to have a couple in my bag just in case. You can actually craft some out of ore that you might find on the ground. Ooh, and we have our first combat. Some deserters have charged us from behind. 2 henchmen and a raider. Let us see how we go. Alrighty, so combat in Wartales is a turn-based set of combat, but the thing that I really like about the combat in Wartales is at the start of each combat you do get to drag your people around and decide where you want them to be, so that your archer's never going to be accidentally, out in front. And the other really cool thing about Wartales combat is that with the turn-based, you actually get to choose which character you want to act when. So I can tell that it's going to be 2 of my characters' turns before the first raider, this guy down here, and then 2 more of my guys before the 2 henchmen get their go. That'll then be the end of the round, and it'll start again. If I go first with my brute this time, I actually don't have to go first with him in the next round. I can actually go last with him if I want to. So what I'm going to try to do, their raider's their weakest character, and I'm going to try to get my archer and my 2 rangers to take him out before he really does any damage, and I'm going to use my brute to distract them. So I'm basically just going to engage the henchmen with my brute, and then the rest of my guys are going to go and try to attack this raider. So we'll engage him in combat, and once they're engaged in combat they can't really move anywhere. And this raider takes a turn to do a targeting attack. So basically I've got a turn before he's going to attack my rogue down here, my ranger, so I just need to get rid of him before that happens. Now with your archer, if you right click on your attack ability or shoot ability, it'll tell you who you can attack and who is within range when you move. Now there is friendly fire in the game, So I could attack this henchman, but I've actually got a chance of hitting my own brute that's in the way. However, since my rogue's on the other side, I can attack this raider from the back quite easily. Now this ranger, I'll run him over, and if you move to the opposite side of where this red arrow is, this is the direction that the character's facing, you actually get what's called an ambush chance, which gives you an extra critical chance from behind. Didn't manage to get a critical hit, still saw a white number there. And we've got a couple of henchmen running over. This guy getting engaged is not quite what I wanted. However, we are lucky enough that we have 2 valor points which we can spend, and this ranger has run, so he can actually disengage, which I'm going to do, just to get out of combat so I don't have to attack him. Then I'm going to attack this guy from behind. Ooh, and we get one of the nice little cutscenes. So he manages to score a critical hit and take that character out. Now he's running a little bit lower on armor, but what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to get him to move around this side, and I'm going to start surrounding this henchman so we can deal a little bit of extra damage. I'll get my other ranger to move up behind him. So again, I want to be attacking him from behind the opposite side, and he's surrounded, so I'm going to be dealing some extra damage. A 13 damage critical is quite nice. And again, this henchman engages our ranger. Now, to negate friendly fire, so I still don't want to hit my own guy, if I run up behind him and the 2 characters' bases are touching or tiles are touching, you can attack without the friendly fire penalty. However, this henchman has a shield, so attacking him from the front actually does very little damage with the archer. So I'm going to try to get a little bit closer, and on the next round I'll try to get behind him as well. Another critical hit, but only for 6 damage this time. Attack with the brute as well. And this henchman is not long for this world. So again, we'll go with this ranger. We'll try to get a little bit more behind him. And another critical. Oh, this guy is our main man at the moment. And we'll run him off to the side. So again, we're going for that surround as quickly as we can. And instead of first aid, one skill that these guys can actually get is a taunt, which would have been quite nice on my tank character. However, the rogue up the top here, he's not at risk of dying just yet, so I'm not too worried that we didn't get all of the best possible skills. Our archer comes in from behind. You can see he just does that little bit of extra damage, and all 4 of my characters are going to get to act before this henchman. So he's there we go. 3 out of 3 kills for the ranger there. What a champion. ISF. Alright, I think that's going to be me in this game. We pick up a new axe, and our archer goes up to level 2, which is nice. Alright, so at level 2, archers get a couple of different skills. Unfortunately, some of the tooltips are still in French, hoping this is fixed up by the time early access kicks off, but honestly it really doesn't take long to kind of learn what they do, so I barely even notice it anymore. The archer can get a point for finishing a turn near an enemy, a point for killing an enemy, or a point for finishing a turn near an ally. I actually want my archer to be a bit of a damage dealer this game, but I don't want him to be too close to the enemies, so I am going to choose Valorous Victory to try to get some points for taking enemies out. On level up, you do get to put a point into one of 3 different skills indicated by the little pluses here, and one of the 3 skills that's chosen at random you do get a double bonus on. So I get extra critical hit and extra critical hit damage. With a movement of only 6 archers, it is helpful to put a bit of movement into, but I'm going to go for an all-out high risk, high reward build here. And I'm going to have a quick look in this caravan as well, see if they've got anything that we may want to purchase. They do have some armor, which we cannot equip, and they do have a hammer, which my brute might be able to make good use of. I do need to keep some money in reserve for my wages, but I'm actually going to buy that hammer. I have 72 in wages to pay, and I have 73 crowns remaining, so that actually works out quite well. And I'm just going to equip that. It gives him an extra 4 strength, which turns his damage from 3 to 4, into 5 to 7, which is a fairly large increase at the very beginning of the game anyway. And I'll just sell his club as well, since I don't need that anymore. Alright, so we're going to start heading along and finish a couple of these small quests just to get a tiny bit of experience under our belts. We got some more bandits coming after us. 2 hoodlums and a poacher. So hoodlums are a dagger-wielding class that can poison you, and the poacher is an archer class that can knock you back. So we definitely don't want to take too much damage from their dagger-wielding hoodlums. So you can see it's actually foggy at the moment, so the weather on the exterior map, the world map, is fog. And so we actually fight this battle in fog as well, which again is one of the really cool additions in the early access. Okay, so we're going to gather around. There might be someone in this fog here. I think it's quite likely. I don't know whether there's going to be anyone behind us, but we'll have a little bit of a look, and it looks like there's some rocks in there as well. So I'm actually going to move up and see. Okay, I found another hoodlum, so let's try to take this hoodlum out. He's going to get to act pretty early on, and I might try to get my rangers to come in from behind. So I'll just launch my attack. I take out all his armor, and Arthes, this guy, he's the one that got all of our critical hits in the last game, so let's see if he can do it again. Ah, no, not this time. Alright, does a fair bit of damage though. And you can see our brute has been poisoned. Now, our archer, he's the one that we actually want to get a lot of the kills on, because we've chosen that skill for him. And we want to try to line it up so we're not going to be risking too much friendly fire. So if we take him on the side, there we go. We take him out and we get a bonus valor point for the kill, which is great. Now it's my turn, or this guy's turn over here. He's going to run over, and I'm actually just going to first aid up my brute so that that poison doesn't deal any additional damage. Ah, there's their poacher up to the north. Now hopefully this hoodlum doesn't go after Arthes as well. No, he's after the brute. Okay, so we have 2 characters that are going to act before this hoodlum, and I wonder whether we can take him out. So once again, I'm just going to heal up my brute using first aid. Not strictly necessary, but I still like trying to keep them up as high as they can. Alright, that's a nice critical hit to begin with. And when we surround an enemy with 3, we actually get this surrounded buff, which gives us some bonus damage. So if we're lucky with a critical hit here, maybe... Ooh, I think we're good. I think we get it. Yes, we do. 14 damage, which gives us galvanized. Alright, and now we get to go after their one remaining poacher. So we'll engage him in combat. And galvanized is a buff that gives you a nice damage increase, so it is good to get. It's sort of determined by your willpower. So every character has a willpower stat. When your willpower is higher than the enemy's, you get the points and you get galvanized. And our archer takes him out. So we've had a couple of nice easy fights to start with here. It is good to get a couple of those under your belt before you start trying some of the harder missions. And we get a nice new dagger. And I think Arthes, I'm gonna rename you Kagal, which is my name online. And I'm gonna give him a shiny new dagger, which allows me to stab and deal poison damage. He's been such a champion so far. I definitely want him to help us out a little bit more. Alright, we can collect a few little flowers around the place. We can use these to craft some medicine later in the game. And not much later. If I ran back to town, I could almost craft some right now. And we can have a little bit of a look in some barrels and things around the place. Bit of cloth, bit of wood. The bodies are riddled with harag arrows. And so we are off to warn some people to stay away from the ghost of harag. Now, one thing we have to be careful of, our fatigue is running really low here.
if it gets down to 0, you'll see this little camp sign flashing above our heads. A bit hard to see in the snow. I'll just turn the map around so you can see it on the mountain there. And if we get attacked while we're tired, all of our guys actually have a great reduction to strength and dexterity, which means they deal a lot less damage. Alright, let's eat some bread since it's all nice and cooked. And off we go. Our fatigue is back up. You can actually get ambushed. There you go, and these might be the guys that we want to talk to. Not too sure, we've got a little attack symbol on them. However, we are right next to them, so let's go and have a chat. Alright, Em and Gina. There they are. That's the ghost of Harag. Kill them! No, we're not the ghost. Alright, let's try to persuade them. Try to convince the Soldians that we're actually alive and we are not a ghost after all. So we use some of our influence. We've got 34 at the moment, and we'll use 20 of that. Sorry for the misunderstanding. We're a bit on edge, you see. We are looking for a ghost, but the snow makes it difficult to be sure of anything. Lord Lahert was right. We will never kill a wraith at this rate. We should go back. Take this. Maybe you will fare better than we have. And we receive a falchion. Now, I don't think we have any characters that can use that. You need a swordsman to use that particular weapon. So not available for us at the moment. Alrighty, so our next quest is off to the west. And we might just inspect this camp quickly. And as you roam around the map and find different areas, you will gain... we got a baton and some rope. And what we can do is we can actually give ourselves a little bit of a shortcut. So one of the things that is, again, a recent addition, you can place batons down, and it doesn't look like we're in a position that we can at the moment. They can give you just shortcuts down different cliffs and things like that, so you can open up new areas of the game. The Great Growler Grotto. And here is our next contract at the bottom of the hill. So there's only 2 of them in this group. You can see them on the world map, and you can tell how many are in there. And that's because this was just an easy contract. So we'll try to sneak up behind them, don't quite get there. We've got Osbanal the Deserter, a hired goon, and a hired killer. Now these hired killers, they can be dangerous. Usually wielding a big 2-handed sword. Now apologies, I do have a bit of a cold at the moment, so if I sound a bit congested, that is all that's happening there. Alrighty, and Osbanal is our first leader. Now most leaders have this special buff where if you don't have the leader engaged in combat, they give every single ally a buff. Now because there's only 2 of them, it's not too bad. When you've got 8 bandits, you really need to get the leaders engaged in combat. Now he attacks every unit nearby and he deals 15 damage, so that is a big hit. Also increased if they are engaged, so we both want to and don't want to engage him. The hired killer deals 10 damage to all enemies, so we're going to have to be pretty careful because 1 or 2 hits from these guys will be enough to kill a character. So what I think we're going to do is, who gets their go first? Osbanal gets their turn first. I think what we want to try to do is focus on the hired killer and see if we can take him out this turn, and then we'll focus on Osbanal after that. So first character that I want to use, and I might just move my archer closer too. If he hits my archer, that's actually not the worst thing in the world. Sorry, just had to sneeze there. And again, let's get this combat underway. Alright, we're going to send our brute in first. Actually, what we might do is take a shot with our archer and run back just a little bit. And then we will go in with our brute. Going to send the brute down fairly close to Osbanal. That hired killer is taken some damage. Alright, as you can see, really don't want to take too many hits like that. We'll try and get behind him for a bit of extra stab damage. And if we fail to kill this killer, we will be in some strife. But I think we have enough damage to do it. Indeed we do. Alright, very nice. Securing the kill there. And all 4 of our characters get a turn before Osbanal here, so fingers crossed we can take him out. Actually, I don't know that we can kill him before he's going to get his attack off, so we might have to sacrifice someone here. Our brute is going to come down and start attacking. But our rangers, instead of staying nearby... Ooh, that was a great critical hit. No, we can definitely finish this fight off. I was a bit worried there, but we are all good. Alright, got lucky with a few critical hits and managed to take him out. So our brute hits level 2. Our brute has been injured, so his damage is halved at the moment, so we're just going to use some medicine to heal him up. And I want to take a defensive stance talent for this guy. So basically when he's in combat, he can take that and he takes a lot less damage. Some constitution would have been nice, but I might just take some movement, make sure he can get into combat with who I want him to. And our ranger will quite often finish combat near an enemy, so I'm actually going to take this first specialization here. And our rangers are damage dealers, so let's get a little bit more dexterity to see if we can't deal some more damage. Alrighty, so what we might do next, I should have actually gone up into this cave while we were here. And there's a little group in the forest that I can see. I kind of want to avoid them. I want to see if I can get started on some of these other little quests that we have. You might see if we can make a couple of things here. Let's just make 2 lockpicks. And a couple of fish hooks in case we come across some fish we want to catch. What we can do then is we can actually take this talent from the compendium down the bottom for run. Now run is my favourite skill to take first up in the game, and you'll see why very soon if these guys do end up seeing us. If you press shift you can actually run your character and you move a little bit quicker, and you can avoid engagements that you might otherwise be stuck taking. So we're actually going to go in here and start doing some mining. Now our brute, our tank, instead of him being the blacksmith anymore, I might actually switch him to the mining profession, which gives him some extra constitution, which means a little bit more health. And we get to play one of the first mini games. And you basically just, move your mouse over, click when it goes into that grey circle, and you get to mine some resources. So these resources, this is why we came back to this cave, are very useful in, particularly at the start of the game, in helping get a little bit of extra power with your characters. Once you've got the resources, you can then craft some gear. Now this guy here, don't tell anyone I'm here, please. I beg you. You must keep this to yourselves. The citizens of Prano are out to kill me. They say I've been contaminated by the plague, but it's not true. My parents were already dead. There was nothing left to eat. I had no choice. Oh, I wouldn't have wanted to be his parents. So here we can either kill him or we can spare him. Now, for someone eating their parents, I think I'm actually just gonna get rid of him. He's not someone I think should be around. Anyone eating your parents is well, not necessary. Okay, we got some villagers coming up at us now. Guess we can't really hide in the cave and we can't run away from them, so what do they want? So, have you killed him, the plague-ridden man who ate his parents? Oh yes, I did kill him. Ha! Good riddance, you did well. Anyone infected by the plague needs to be killed as soon as possible to stop them infecting others. So you can see the world building here. There's a couple of things going on in this area. Obviously, a little bit of a plague that seems to make people eat each other. Take this. The village's food supplies are running low, but you have done so much for us. I get 10 gold. Well, 10 gold is not going to last me very long, but I will accept it gladly, thank you. Alright, so looking in our bags now, we've got a little bit of ore, a little bit of wood, so we might be able to go and make ourselves some new equipment. So we're going to head back to town, and then we might go and see how hard this customs post is. I might be being a bit optimistic, thinking that we can take it on with only a couple of level 2 characters, but I am willing to see what happens. If we want to be the best bandits of the land, well, we have to work hard for it. Alright, so first place we might visit is the inn, and we can hand in our quests, which will net us a nice little 225 bonus. And we can see if anything else has popped up. So there's another troop that we might want to take out. They're off to the south. So we'll see if we can get rid of them at the same time. And there's a couple of other people sitting around the tavern. Now we can't recruit anyone at the moment because we don't have enough influence. That's a bit of a pity. We spent some of that. Might be handy having just sort of one more meat shield for a difficult fight. Let's have a chat with the barkeep. Look how empty the room is. Before the war, there were 2 taverns in Korsha, and we were still completely full on market days, so lamenting the lack of business at the moment. We can buy some alcohol, which makes our troops a little bit happier, but not really necessary at the moment. We can sell off the gems. We don't that we earn mining. We don't really get anything for those. Sell off the other weapons that we found, and we will see if we can use the blacksmith to craft anything for our team. Now, our archer's the only one who doesn't have a profession, so we'll make him the blacksmith. And we actually still need some leather. So, unfortunately, we needed to find some wolves or something to fight to get a little bit more leather. In the market, is there anything else we can do? Sometimes there's a beggar that you might be able to hand some bread to earn a little bit of extra influence, but I think in this market there's nothing. And she's just warning us about this hunter's ghost who we just went and warned those men away from as well. Alright, and he's not selling any leather either. Okay, well, let's away and see whether we can take out this bandit camp. We'll run just to speed up the travel a little bit, and our fatigue is almost gone as well, so we might just do another little rest. We'll eat a little bit of bread, a little bit of pork, maybe some pork buns. Delicious. And here we have some wages to pay as well. So to pay our wages, we click on our campfire and just hit pay on our wages. So your wages are due every 3 days. And it's handy to make sure you've got some gold. You're not going to get very far if you're not paying your team's wages. So in the Abbey here, we have a couple of different things going on. So this purple guy is one of the main quests. We're actually going to avoid the main quests for the time being, just because I don't want to give away too many spoilers. Look, it doesn't really help with our banditry. Okay, and we found a new profession, the thief. So instead of our archer being a blacksmith, I've decided I want to change him into a thief. And off we go. We have to try to pick these locks. And so this is using the lockpicks that we found earlier. Oops, I just broke one there. And so you have to move it around until you find the spot where the lockpick can go all the way in. And so I try not to click too hard until I've got a bit more of an idea. 1, 2, oh no, I've broken 2. That's definitely not the way you want to start the game. There we go, now we're inside. And we get a book that gives us a bit of knowledge and just a few little scraps. There's another little bag here that has some dried fish. Might get my my thief to steal those as well, which increases our suspicion. I think there's one other person to talk to here, the apothecary. And she needs a little bit of snow iris, which we'd gone and collected, so let's give her 10. And what does she give us? She gives us a blueprint for a gurney. Alright, so the gurney is actually something that we can learn to improve our campsite. And in the campsite we can build a tent, we can get a cooking pot, and the gurney is another addition there, which can help us heal injuries between fights, which is quite useful. I'm going to actually save the game here. I better do that just in case we encounter any bugs. And we might call this one Banditry, since that is the name of our game, Banditry. Alright, now before a hard fight, I do actually have some raw materials here, and I can use them to repair our armor. So we've got some armor on these three that's all broken from our earlier fights. So just using the raw materials, and that repairs their armor. Alright, so we are heading over towards our customs post. Now, this is very likely to be a fight that is very difficult, if not impossible, but let's just see how we go. If it is too hard to start with, we can run away with our tail between our legs and do another couple of little fights to begin with, and then come back a bit stronger. Alright, old customs post. It's only got an orange border, so should be possible. Okay, so in this camp there are 2 hoodlums and 2 poachers. Now we took out some hoodlums and 1 poacher earlier. I think we can manage 2 and 2 pretty easily. Might take an injury or 2, but that's what our medicine is for. Alrighty, fight kicks off. We're not in fog this time, so we can see where all 4 of them are. Now these hoodlums and poachers are a little bit more difficult, so they've got a little bit more health, a little bit more armor than the first ones that we encountered. And 2 of our team are going to get to act before these 2 hoodlums. So what we might do is we might try to engage and take out the hoodlum at the top first of all. And our archer, he'll be okay kind of standing out the back. Alrighty, so let's get our brute to go all the way around and to engage him in combat. We will then, because he's going to act next, we want to try to get a poison on him before he gets his turn. We'll run behind him. This guy can't move very fast, so I might actually run a little bit further. Nice little stab in the back and poison him. Oof, and they critically hit our brute. That's not the beginning of the fight that we wanted. Alright, and let's keep trying to take him out. He's now surrounded, so he should be taking some extra damage, and we almost get rid of him. Alright, now we just have to worry about these poachers as well. So the poacher's the only one we can attack so far. Let's get that underway. If we're really lucky, their poachers will accidentally shoot their own units, but it's unlikely to happen, I think. Oof, and our brute is in dire need of some assistance already. Now, our archer does get extra valor points if they kill an enemy, and I think they're the only one that's going to have that bonus at the moment. And our brute has poison as well, so we definitely want to get one of our healers over there. Okay, so I think what our plan is going to be... Our archer definitely can't get to our brute, nor can we get close enough to get a guaranteed kill, so... Wilrul, you are going to take out a hoodlum. You are going to run over here, so that you're a bit closer to the next hoodlum, and you're going to heal our brute so he is no longer poisoned. And then you're going to end your turn near an enemy that's not engaged. Remember, we took that skill, which gives us a valor point back, which means we will get more healing in. Now, our brute's very, very hurt, so what we may do now... I'm just trying to think, what's the best order to do this? I think we are going to get this archer a little bit closer so that this poacher starts focusing on our archer. Do a little bit more damage on the hoodlum. And just keep getting ready. Now our brute can actually occupy this poacher over here, and when the archers get into combat they end up not doing very much damage, so keeping them engaged is quite useful. And we'll get our two rangers to start focusing on this ranger, and this poacher will hopefully shoot our archer, which he is. This archer can take one more hit from a ranger, and you can see this poacher's not dealing a lot of damage to our brute. Okay, so now we want to try to get rid of this hoodlum before his turn, and then we'll only have the two poachers to worry about. So let's begin by surrounding him, getting a little heal off on one of our rangers, and then seeing if we can shoot him in the back. We don't get a critical, but that's alright. Hopefully we deal a little bit more damage. No, not having much luck there. Now Kagal has 13 health. Probably worth putting him down here near this poacher to take a shot. Oh no, our brute gets hit and is dying. So he's not going to be able to do much on his turn. But he might be able to give a little bit of a surround bonus. So we'll just run him away, so he's not going to get attacked. He does still give us a surround bonus, which is nice. Oh, 1 health. 1 health. Kagal takes a shot. This is going to be a very close fight in the end, and poison will kill him, which is nice. Alright, so we do have 3 Valor points at the moment left, which is great. I think we're going to need all of them to keep up some healing. Alright, so this poacher's going to get to go first. So we might try to focus our attention on this poacher over here and see if we can't get rid of him first of all. So we'll heal our brute up so he's no longer at risk of death. We will move ourselves a little bit closer and take a shot. This poacher probably is going to kill one of us unless we kill him. So I'm going to move the brute down, and I'm hoping the brute is the one that gets shot here. That's kind of the plan. I think he's the closest. Gets shot in the back, but that'll just take him down to 0 again. Yep, and he's already done his action this turn, so we get 2 more attacks still. Let's go with over on this side, why not? And we'll do a stab. Nice critical hit there. He will definitely go down now, which is exactly what we wanted. There we go. 3 down, 1 to go. And we'll head down and we will heal our brute up again. So get him back off 0. We're starting to run a little bit low on Valor points now. Now this guy, if he finished his turn next to the archer, he would have gotten us another one back. But unfortunately not this time. Okay, so we're going to get 2 actions. He is poisoned as well, which means he's going to be killed on his turn, when his turn ends, I mean. So we're going to get our brute to go down and engage again. Tell you what, this brute is certainly taking a beating this round, this battle. Even if I heal him, he's probably going to get taken out. And what I actually want to do, I want to get a heal off on him if I can. I don't know that I've got anyone close enough though. So I might just run the archer down. I definitely don't want to shoot with the archer this turn. Too much risk of friendly fire. Ugh, there goes the brute. Alright, I am going to heal the brute. I am then going to run so I'm next to this archer, starting a surround and also finishing a turn next to someone who's not engaged. So I get a Valor point back. But Wilril is on death's door, that's for sure. Let's see if we can't take this archer out before Wilril kicks it. Alright, all 4 of our guys are going to get to have a turn, and I finish the fight. We will limp away from this one, that's for sure. I'm glad we didn't lose anyone. Alright, we have a lair location for the Lair of the Bandits, and I get a level up to level 2 as well. Now, I don't necessarily want to finish near enemy. I might actually take the Valorous support, so finishing near an ally gives me a Valor point. And we'll go the Dexterity again. And let's have a quick look at this map we found. And the map shows us where this Bandits Lair is, which is something that we will head to very soon. Alright, in the hideout here we can pick a few more locks and hopefully find ourselves some more loot and treasure. And yeah, you're looking for that low sound or where the lockpick looks like it's moving into the middle. A little bit of gold in there, which is nice. A couple of barrels around the place. Ooh, some leather. That's what we needed for our crafting. So good to find a little bit of that. And I have a cooking pot down here with some porridge, which is worth 7 food. That's quite nice as well. Don't think there's anything else in the area. We can look around with the camera, but I'm pretty sure we've got everything now. And off we go. Alrighty, so we finished that quest, so we're going to head back into town, and we've got a couple of guys over here. Now these guys aren't merchants, they're part of the main quest line, and watching where they go is a little hint into something else that you will be able to explore in the game. So we can go and could do some fishing here. I don't actually have any characters that don't have a profession at the moment, so I don't want to go and do any fishing right now, just because I will have to give up a profession that they have. Now, at the moment we've got a little bit of medicine and a lot of gold, so I'm actually going to use our gold to heal our characters once we get back into town, rather than using our precious medicine, which we want to keep for when we're on the go. So we can go in here and talk to the apothecary, and he will heal us up and get rid of all of our injuries. In a similar way, on the way to that fight we use some raw materials to heal up, to repair our armor. We can actually talk to the blacksmith that's here, and they can repair our equipment for some gold as well. And we can buy a couple of tools to repair on the run. Alrighty, so we'll go back into the inn to hand our quest back. See if they've got anything else for us. No, so we'll head to the south to vanquish Palmrick's troop next. We have a little bit more influence, so we can actually hire another companion if we like. So who have we got here? We have got a swordsman. Now, I did have a sword, but I sold that. So he's a level 1 swordsman. We have got a spearman. Now, spearmen are a very, very fun class. Now, at the moment, we've only got 1 tank in our brute, so I think the swordsman is probably a more likely fit than a spearman at the moment. And we have the warrior, so this is the other guy that we could use as a meat shield, so we might get him. Having 2 people with a shield does really, really help, and that increases our wages a little bit. So now we have to pay 89 in wages every time, and a little bit more food each time we go anywhere. Now that we have a warrior, he can become our blacksmith because they're a strength-based character as well, and he can create a couple of different things. So he could make us a couple of good shields. We could make some throwing knives for our rangers. Now we've only got 2 leather, so we can make maybe let's go with 1 Taj. Another one of the little mini games which I really enjoy. Gotta just click once they go to that yellow. Oh my goodness, that was terribly done. And if you get enough of them yellow, you do get a kind of stronger item. And we'll make a throwing knife for one of our rangers. There we go, I'll probably do a little bit better with this one, even though throwing knives only come in a basic quality. There we go, so that's what it looks like when you actually do a better job. Alrighty, now let's go and equip them. So this is our guy with the better weapon. So in his offhand he gets the throwing knife, and he gets a nice little skill called knife throw. And so the skills that you have are based both on the weapons that you have equipped and any skills you take from your specialization. Now, our brute, who's done such a good job so far, can have the better shield. And I think this guy has about the same. 2 armor and 8 guard, yep. So what we might do is we'll just sell that one. And we can continue on our way. Alrighty, and we're off again. So now we want to head off to the south to our next contract, Palmrick's Troop. Now we are almost out of energy, out of fatigue again, so we'll rest up, eat a little bit more food. We do only have 2 days worth of food, so that's not very much at the moment. We might just go our porridge to begin. So we'll keep our eye out for a place to get a little bit more food as we go here. And hopefully soon we'll get enough ore to make ourselves a cooking pot. Having a cooking pot does mean that you can just stretch those provisions a little bit further. We of course could go on and buy some more food, but I think we're just going to do a quick little loop down here and hopefully should be able to fight some more of these bandits. So you can see a little way in the fog, not too far. Just pick up some extra wood. And here we head into Prano Village. So in this village here, thanks for helping us kill the monster. So this must have been, these are the people that came and talked to us after we got that guy in the cave. And here, these poor souls suffering the worst possible fate, and we can't even provide them with a decent offering. So here we could give them some pork to get some more influence, but we don't actually have much food, so I might leave them to do what they want. Just checking around to see if there's anything I can steal. Being bandits, I definitely don't want to leave anything that isn't nailed down behind. Alrighty, and we come to another little bandit outpost. So it looks like the guys are just in the forest nearby. This bandit camp, can you see this little shield on top and shield over here? If we take out these towers, we actually weaken the Bandits Lair. So we might actually take this fight as well as our bandits in the forest. We have 2 hoodlums and 2 poachers, but there's 5 of us now, so should be a little bit easier this time. And if you take out, I think it's 3 different areas, you do make that final fight significantly easier. Oh look, these guys don't even have as much health or armor as the other area. So 9 and 15 for each of them. This will definitely be a much easier fight than the last one that we did. So 2 poachers, 2 hoodlums. Let's get our new recruit Ulrus to run in and engage that hoodlum. And let's actually get our brute to engage the poacher so that the poacher does not get a good chance to use his bow. Alright, so that poacher's only hitting for 1 damage. And the hoodlum for a little bit more, but not too much still because the warrior has that shield handy. Alright, so we're going to run in with Wilrul first. We'll do a little stab, and we're actually going to run up and finish here, just so we get this extra valor point through finishing near an enemy. He takes a little bit of damage, but that's not too worrying at the moment. Alright, we'll get the archer to go over so he can absorb a shot from the poacher. And then on my turn, I'm going to run in. We can get a kill to start with. Nice little kill cam. They do freeze a little bit at the moment, the kill cams, but hopefully they'll become a little bit smoother because they're quite nice. And We can friendly fire that. We definitely don't want to do any friendly fire, so we might just throw the knife at the poacher down there. Oof, that poacher's running a long way away. Now I think one-on-one, my archer's still going to win, but I don't want him to take that much damage. Okay, so this poacher's going to get his turn first, so we're actually going to use a couple of our valor points here, and we're going to run over, and we're going to engage this poacher so he doesn't run any further away. Now here I could throw the knife first, and then do an attack, which gets him nice and low. And then we might get our archer to come over and finish the job. This gets us a little bit closer to our galvanized. Oh no, it gets us galvanized, even better. And we got another valor point back from our archer getting the final kill. Now, try to get rid of this hoodlum first. Another one of the kill cams, thank you very much, warrior. And our opponents are demoralized and flee. Do we want to let them go? Normally I wouldn't, but I will in this instance, just to keep the video moving. With galvanized, you can usually finish off that last enemy quite quickly and easily. He would have gotten another attack on my other ranger there though, so definitely not something we want to take too many. And we've reached level 2 in the power and might path, which increases our valor points available by 1. That's very nice. And you progress along these paths, just through kind of playing the game and doing little kind of side missions and quests. I think you've seen a couple pop up now, possibly, that we've achieved. Oops, broke another lockpick. There we go, but we get in. Alright, a military report which gives us some more knowledge. Damage of attacks from behind increased by 5%, that's very nice. And some armor, which I don't think we can use until we get to level 3. Little crate with some rope in it, and I think that's everything in this location. No campfire with food to steal here, unfortunately. Alright, so we've taken a little bit of damage. I will actually use our tools to heal us up, just to make sure that we can win this fight. Learn some more knowledge. And now knowledge is what you use to learn new recipes and get new crafting. We'll try to attack this guy from behind. Aha, we have launched a surprise attack here, which is great. So we'll do a little bit more damage in this first round of combat. Palmrick the Tyrant, a hired goon. He has 2 hired killers and a ravager. Okay, so this is actually going to be quite a tough fight. They only have a white background, which normally indicates easy, but those hired killers are very dangerous. Alright, so we got this surprise buff, which means they take an extra 10% damage. Alright, so Palmrick the Tyrant has 14 armor, 27 health. He's the one that also does a very, very large bit of damage if he's engaged. Okay, I think our game plan here is going to be to take out these 2 hired killers. Hopefully get galvanized from it. If not, maybe we'll go for that ravager as well. Alright, so we're going to get our warrior, our new recruit. He's going to try to distract this this tyrant. And this hired killer is actually going to get to go pretty early on, so I might actually just sort of run forward a little bit, get him with the archer, and then a retreat. Where does he go? Oh no, he is going to get his attack in. This is what I mean. They are deadly, these guys. I will actually take this one out as much as I can though. And fingers crossed our new recruit can survive over there. Now Valorous Support, he gets points for finishing near an allied combatant. Oof. Okay, he's only going to survive a round, so that's going to be dangerous. And we've at least got one down. Don't want him to be too close to anyone just in case. And he's certainly outmatched in that fight. Alright, our brute is back in combat with the Ravager. The Hired Killer runs down and does not get an attack this turn. That is good for us. Alright, so the Hired Killer is the last one to move. We might actually try to take out this Ravager first. So we will get someone behind him. We'll move our archer in as well. Well, that was a very nicely timed critical hit. I'm going to move back because this Ravager's attack I think actually does... Oh no, it's just a single target attack, it's not an AoE. Let's leave... No, let's move the archer back out of the way just so that if this Hired Killer does get a turn, he doesn't come and get us. 11 damage, that is still a big hit. Oh my goodness, our new recruit, he's going to sacrifice himself this fight. And we'll run over, get rid of this Ravager. And then get ourselves right near this Hired Killer here, who hopefully just attacks the one character, but I have a feeling he's going to run and attack both. I did get a Valor point back for healing, or for finishing next to an enemy there. And where can this guy go? He can go anywhere, so I'm actually going to run so I'm not too grouped up here. And just deflection to take some reduced damage on an attack. I'm going to run him away very, very slowly to hopefully distract Parmic a little bit longer. Alright, the Hired Killer launches his attack and doesn't get to attack until the very end of the round again, so fingers crossed we should be able to take him out. So far so good. So long, Ulrich, you have been with us for 2 fights. You served valiantly and died pretty much on the 1 hour mark. Well done. Alright, let's deal a little bit of extra damage. Down to 1 health, and we'll get our archer to finish him off, which will actually earn him a Valor point as well. And got us galvanized. That's what we want to fight this guy over here. Fantastic. Okay, now our archer's the only one who might get an attack in this round. So what we're going to do is heal our brute up a little. And end our turn. We're actually going to end our turn right there and then. Unlucky Ulrich, you served us well for the short time that you were here. Okay, so we are going to get to shoot him this round. Let's try to get just close enough. And then run away, run away. Alright, we're gonna let him come up near us. We definitely don't want to be the one to get hit first here. Alright, game on. Can we kill him before he attacks us? We will need to move a couple of people out of the way. Let's take an archer shot first. Let's run around behind him and throw a knife to begin. Followed by a little stabby stab. And I think we are going to be okay. Another knife in the back. Alright, thank goodness. I hadn't really wanted to lose a character there, but I'm not too sure how I could have avoided that. Alright, we get an axe back. Our warrior could have actually used that. We do get the gear back from the character that died. and we can see him there. Now, our brute got hurt, strength and dexterity. Yeah, definitely want to get rid of that, so we'll heal him up. I won't worry about repairing my armor though, because I'm actually going to head back to town now. Yeah, we're heading in the right direction, always good to check. And I think we'll need to hire someone else. Hire someone else for the team. Now, if we get enough influence, maybe we'll hire two, and see how we go. We're gonna go and attempt to explore the Bandit Lair after this. I've never tried it at level. I think we're only level 2 still. Maybe we should see if we can get someone up to level 3 at least. Look, our archer's close. Maybe we'll do one or two more fights on the way. See if we can get someone to level 3, and then we'll be calling it a little bit of a wrap from there for this video. All right, let's collect our bounty. Help requested the Lost Expedition. No, they're up to the north. Here we go. Loot the Bandits Lair. 200 gold for a hard mission. No, we're not going to negotiate. We don't want to use any of our influence, so we're just going to accept that. And what sort of companions have we got down here? We've got another archer. We've got a spearman still and a swordsman. I feel like the swordsman's going to be our best bet. He's glorious, so let's take the swordsman. Well, I think we'll only have the influence for hiring one character. And we can sell a few things that we can no longer use. We do have a new bow there, but it's not actually an upgrade, so we're going to leave that behind. We did find some medium armor, but you need to be level 3 to equip medium armor on anyone. And then I also forgot to equip our extra damage from behind trinket. Alright, we didn't pick up any new ore, new materials, so we actually can't make anything else at the blacksmith. So we might just buy some food from the market. I feel like a little bit more pork. Let's go crazy on that. We got plenty of gold, so just buying an absolute bunch of food here. And then we can head off. Now, we do have the nice weapon on the brute there. Actually, we should probably repair ourselves at the blacksmith again. And if we're going to take a couple of fights along the way, I'll buy a few more tools there too. Do we have any merchants around that we could possibly buy some other things off? I can't kind of see any. Oh no, there's some in the distance. We'll check in with them quickly. And then let's see if we can become the bandits of the area by defeating this bandit camp. It is going to be a tough fight. I think we've only taken out 2 of the groups that would normally make it a little bit easier to do. Looks like all the other merchants are heading in the other direction, so we won't wait for them. We want to get on with the fighting. Alrighty, let's head. And if you travel on the roads, you do actually end up traveling a little bit quicker and using a little bit less fatigue. Alright, there's a couple of guys just roaming around here. Let's see what their deal is. Didn't look like they charged at us. Hello, colleagues. What am I doing, you ask? Why, I am looting dead bodies, of course. No need to look so appalled. I'm sure you've done the same to many of your own victims. See, I was not mistaken. You really are my colleagues. Okay, so we can inspect her, and she's a brute. If we had a little bit more influence, we could hire her, or we can attack. Now, there's 2 hammer wielders and 2 maybe henchmen, so yeah, let's go for it. Let's get her out of the way. Hopefully get a bit of experience and get one of these archers, maybe the archer up to level 3. So the level 3 talents and abilities are quite strong. You get a little bit of a power spike at that point in the game, which is quite nice. And she's a pretty weak character actually, so this should be a pretty straightforward fight. What I might actually do is send some of my guys over the back here. Our swordsman's just going to kind of stand out in front and distract this raider, hopefully. Otherwise, we'll go and we'll engage her. She should be a pretty easy one to take out. And again, we'll go for that galvanized buff as soon as we can get it, is the idea. Ooh, down to 3 health. Do I want to try to kill her? I think I want to preserve my valor point there. Alright, this raider's just doing his targeting attack. So we will actually go down. We'll try to take him out before he gets that giant hammer smash off. And, oh, I don't think our swordsman's even going to be able to get anywhere. Let's just have our swordsman distract this henchman. So probably left the archer too far away to be very useful here at the beginning of the fight. And you can see the archer movement zone is unfortunately quite small. So hence, getting some points in movement for them early on is very useful. Where's she off to? Yeah, she gets a little AoE attack against the two of them. But ultimately she's not long for this world. So we want to take her out before she gets a turn, and then this raider out before he gets a turn as well. That's going to be one of them pretty easily. What I might do, I might use the knife for a guarantee on her. Nice backstab there. Gets us galvanized, and we'll start getting ready to surround and get these henchmen as well. So we're gonna have lost a little bit of armor, which is where we wanted to buy some of those tools so we can repair up. And I could use my my shield to block a little bit of extra damage here, but ultimately it's going to be a pretty quick fight. So I'm not even too sure it would make a difference of one set of tools by the end of it. Yeah, let's use that one. There's the Brute's finishing animation, a nice little club. And this last guy, now I actually am going to fight here just to sort of show you. The fight continues much as you'd expect. We'll get the surround on. And our main aim here is aim here. So we've got a whole bunch of extra things that we can, extra valor points to use. So the yellow valor points don't last past the end of combat. So I'm actually not going to attack with the swordsman because otherwise I'll hit my own brute. I didn't think too much about positioning there. And our archer will finish the job, hopefully getting it up to level 3. Okay, fight complete. Get a hammer, a little bit of cloth, some leather, and a hairbrush, which is just something we can sell. And our archer did indeed get to level 3. Okay, so we've got a few different things here. Recoil shots and knockback. Beastmaster allows any animals you've captured to attack. I obviously haven't captured any animals yet. An infantryman lays down an AoE, and if anyone enters that AoE, they take damage. Now, I'm actually going to bump up the archer's dexterity, and I am going to go for infantryman. So we might try to lay down a little bit of a zone of death for these bandits to walk into, and we will see how it goes. Alright, and let's keep heading down towards Bandit Land. Don't really need to check some of these other locations. There's a few little things going on around the world, but our main aim is to take out some bandits in this fight. And we're heading down. Our Bandit Lair has been revealed now. It does have a red banner around it and one little skull, showing that we've only done 2 of the 3 fights that cause it to be a little bit weaker. So we are likely in for more than a little bit of trouble in this fight. These guys have some food we could steal. Bonus strength. Maybe that'll come in handy. Let's steal food from these poor little campers. They sell some cloth, which we don't need. We've got plenty of cloth. What we really need is leather. If we had some leather, we might be able to make some slightly better equipment for ourselves. We fled to the south. We saw it. The Black Steed. It was there, just outside our fishery door. If you want to live, avoid the riverbank at all costs and do not go anywhere near the fishery. Something to explore later. Alright, so the Bandits Lair. One way or another, we are going to attempt this fight, and we will either win or die trying. So we'll repair up our equipment, we'll camp and eat our strength bonus stew, and then we will see what we're in for. Alright, so this guy can't really do much in our camp at the moment. We're going to pay our wages, even if they're not going to be around to collect them soon. We'll eat our stew, which gives us some bonus strength for the next fatigue period. And we still actually can't equip this armor we found because it's medium armor, and even though our archer's level 3, they can only equip light armor. Alrighty, well, let me save it here. And let's have a look at what is in the Bandits Lair. There are 5 hoodlums and 4 poachers versus our 5 characters. So I think our chances are pretty much 0 here, but I am going to see what we can do. Alrighty, so we've got 4 out of our, I think, 6 valor points. Maybe we could have rested twice to give ourselves a few more there. And they're kind of split into sort of 2 groups of 3 there, and then 1 group of 3 right down the back here. So we might be in with a chance. What we should probably do is sort of rush towards this group and see if we can take them out. And then these guys will take a few turns to reach us. So how can we organise this? We've got 2 poachers and a hoodlum. Maybe this group's actually even better to take out because of the poachers there. Poachers are a little bit of a pain in fights like this. And if you can get them in combat, they don't end up dealing too much damage. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to have our archer move over and target this area to deal a little bit of damage to anyone coming in. We're going to have our swordsman run in and engage this archer to begin with, this poacher. This poacher shouldn't be able to reach anyone, or maybe they will. Oh, they can. That's a pity. Little bit of damage, nothing too bad. And then we will get our brute. Oh, he can only reach the poacher. Is that a problem? I don't think that's a problem yet. This hoodlum is up next, so we actually want our archer to move over to begin with. How far can he run? All the way. And we want to try to take out this hoodlum before he gets a chance to move as well. So we're going to aim that way, and so as soon as this hoodlum moves, he's going to get shot at, and hopefully this hoodlum runs down and runs into range as well. Let's see what he does. He does run into range, that is good. Takes a hit. And our swordsman takes 1 arrow as well. Not too bad. Okay, let's go and engage this poacher with our brute. Now these guys, they're not going to get to do anything this turn, and hopefully even the turn after those guys will be useless. So we're kind of negating that numbers advantage just through a little bit of positioning and deciding who we can get rid of first in the fight here. Now, if that didn't get him, we did still have our knife throw, which would have been handy. And what we could do here is use our knife throw just to weaken this guy a little bit more, so that hopefully he dies to the archer's shot. That would be ideal, and if this guy runs in... no, he's not going to, that's a pity. Alright, that turn finishes. And this hoodlum, I'm really hoping that this archer manages to take him out. He does, which gives him a valor point back. Very nice. Alright, so we're 2 enemies down. We're a little bit at risk over here. And this guy's going to get to go first, but he's not going to get far because his allies are blocking his movement. Handy for us. So this hoodlum, he can reach these two, so we're going to want to get them out of the way first. So what we might do is run over and start engaging this poacher. That was a very nice attack. Alright, so we've got a poacher up next. Which one is it? The one up the top here. Okay, so I'm a little bit worried about Wilrul here, so I am actually going to get him to attack. And then start a bit of a surround on this archer. He's poisoned, but he's only taking 1 damage per turn, so it's not too bad. Alright, now Archer gets his 3rd attack of barrage off. And overall, that was a very successful barrage. Now, this hoodlum's up next. We probably want to take a hit on Kagal more than anyone else. So we might run over, get rid of that guy, and then head over this way to protect our archer. Our archer's probably the main character that we're trying to support here, just because of that level 3 ability. It does mean that a lot of extra damage can be dealt. I forgot to get our swordsman out of the way, didn't I? So he takes an arrow in the back. Now, question, can this hoodlum get anyone? No, he cannot. So we are in a very good position. This fight is going exactly how we wanted, to be honest. Now, I actually want to take out their poacher if I can, to get another valor point back. And then, on our next turn, we will actually have a very good chance of them just running into here and taking some extra hits. Oh, I can't believe he didn't trigger that. Alright, this poacher's up first. He's probably just going to run in and shoot the swordsman here. Let's try to get this hoodlum down before he gets a turn to do anything, a chance to do anything. Now I'm actually going to disengage here. I'm going to use his ability run, and I'm going to run behind him. Still close by to support, but it means my characters can run and attack on this side. Oh, and they've done some friendly fire. That was perfect. Their poacher shot their hoodlum in the back, which knocked him forwards into my archer's cone of fire. That couldn't have gone better. Let's take out the hoodlum. This guy might get a turn now, but at least the other one didn't, so we're going to go first with the swordsman. That will cause him to be engaged. That's okay. I think this hoodlum's going to get a chance to go, but that's fine. And our brute is going to run up, and I might just run him in front of the archer. Now, when the archer's in barrage, he can't do friendly fire, which is great. So you can have some people in front of him while that's happening. And and I just use his tank skill deflection there to reduce the damage of an attack by 70%, which meant he did not take much damage at all there. So I have to cancel barrage here, but that's fine. It's done its job. And now we get galvanized. So we are going to win this fight, 5 versus 9. Quite happy with that outcome, actually. I was not anticipating a win here. But this is the beauty of the turn-based system, being able to zone out enemies, having a few different skills at your disposal, and ultimately part of the reason why I do really enjoy the game. There's a lot of different things to take into account with it, and ultimately it's just a very, very fun experience. Now, we are definitely not going to let these guys go. We want to get rid of all these bandits. We will be the bandit kings of the region. That is our goal. And the Bandit Lair has been defeated. Alrighty, so there we go. A few little bits of money, another little lockpick. Oh, that got one of our rangers up to level 3 as well. Fantastic. These guys can kind of take Frenzy, which is like the triple attack in a round. Smoke Screen, which allows a nice disengage. Or Poison Vial, which applies multiple poison stacks on an enemy. Now, given that we've just got a really nice dexterity bonus, Will Rule is, I think, going to go for that Cutthroat so he can attack a lot from behind. We don't actually have enough medicine to heal everybody after that, but that's okay. And we have Idea here, who is from the Black Market. If you wish to benefit from everything the Black Market has to offer, you will have to make your way there. In the meantime, you will deal with me. I take anything and everything, regardless of where it comes from. Or wherever it comes from, I'm sorry. So that's really cool. If you steal things in town, you can actually sell them to her. So this fish, if I tried selling it to a normal merchant, I'd actually get a whole lot of extra suspicion added to myself. But if I sell to her, she does not ask questions. She's got a couple of things. She's actually got Lucilla Lynn's pendant. That's interesting. That's a quest item from the first area. A blueprint for the watchkeeping stool, and some forceps. This unit has a chance to collect gold teeth at the end of battle. Also got some food, which is just porridge, doesn't look like it gives you any buffs, and some Alizarian powder. Now this stuff is useful in alchemy, so I'll pick a little bit of that up. And there's all these boxes around the place. Oh, look at that! We actually get the watchkeeping stool in a crate, so we do not need to buy it from her. Oh, interesting. It is gone from her menu here, so maybe that crate was her box. How interesting. I'm just going to loot, and I'll show you what's in this camp, and then we'll pretty much call it a wrap on that video. I hope you have enjoyed becoming the bandits of the region. Oops, I should pay a bit more attention and stop breaking these lockpicks, I think. It is possible to get through most of the game using a single lockpick. A two-handed iron mace, that's quite nice. Damage increased by 50%, but this unit can only use a base action. Oh, that sounds incredibly strong still. I think it has been nerfed a little bit from what it was originally. Oh, and this is a... Okay, so now I'm actually over my carry weight as well. Anyway, we are going to wrap this video there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed a few fights of a new team against some bandits, moving up to level 3, showing you a little bit of the world of Wartales. So we're only 8 days in so far. A normal playthrough is probably going to take you a couple of months if you're doing everything and exploring around. And the game is going to be a lot of fun. It's not entirely bug-free yet, but overall it's quite a smooth experience. As you can see, the turn-based combat is fantastic, and the classes are a lot of fun to play with. The Ranger, I think, is my favourite of the lot. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in Wartales soon.